All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Collins. I am the Digital Services Librarian for the Genesee District Library. And today we're going to be going over Access World News, a newspaper database you can use to access all sorts of newspapers, including the Flint Journal, which will be our focus. Before I start, I want to mention all of our programs, digital and in person, are located in our program guide. You can get this in any of our branches and also on the website. And then next month, we will be having two virtual programs, one on cryptic crosswords and another one on using Ancestry and other databases for genealogy research. So look forward to that. All right, so let's get started. And we are going to start on the library website. And we're going to go to Learn up here. And this is going to bring up the list of GDL databases. We want newspapers and magazines. And you can click either the Access World News or the Flint Journal link. Either of them will take you to the database. You will need an active library card to access the database. It asks for your barcode number on the back of the card and your PIN number, which is usually the year you were born. If you have a digital card, it is the last four digits of that card number. A nice thing about the databases is they are available to everyone who has a Genesee District Library card. Even if you live outside the county, live outside the service area, you can't use our ebooks, you can still gain access to the Flint Journal database and all of our other online databases. So let me log in with my library card. And it takes us to the Newsbank website. Now, you can search by keyword up here, name, event, topic. You also have suggested topics up here. These are popular issues in the news that they group together. And clicking one of them kind of breaks it down into subcategories to help you figure out what exactly you're looking for in a certain field. Going back to the top, there's this link that says A to Z source list. If we click that, this one's really nice. If you know the name of the newspaper or research that you're looking for, you can see we have 48 hours, 60 minutes transcripts. You can search by the name of the publication. You can search by location. You can search by language. It's really helpful to narrow down. So, for example, if you're looking for Michigan newspapers, we got a nice list here from throughout the state. And then there is the date search. So if you're looking, for example, tornadoes between the years 2000 and 2008, you can search and it'll bring up any articles about tornadoes between those years. Going back, you can also refine it by source. So you can say, I want to look just at US newspapers and other sources, break it down by state, and that'll help limit your sources to exactly what you're looking for. So, all excellent tools for searching for news stories. Now we're going to go back to the main page, and on the right here, you'll see we have different collections that are specific to Genesee County, to the GDL. So first I'm going to start with Flint Community Newspapers. I think this is kind of a cool collection. And this looks at not just the Flint Journal, but some other local newspapers from around the area. Past and present, mostly past. Burton News ran from 2002 to 2012. Fenton Press, the Swartz Creek News. Now, these are all text formats, so there won't be any pictures or any special formatting. So if we dive into Clio Messenger, you can see that you browse by date, you select the year up here. So we'll say 2007. This was published every Sunday, so the Sundays are lit up in blue. You can click any Sunday, and it brings up a list of the articles that were in that paper with the page numbers on the right. Click one. It brings up the article. Like I said, full text, no pictures or any charts or anything like that. It's just going to be the raw text of the article. There is kind of a nice feature. You can have it Newsbank read the article out loud to you. And a couple other accessibility options. Click and listen to click certain text. You can download the audio recording and listen to it at a later time. And then there are some other features up here that are useful for any article you come across. Text size, if you need to make the font bigger, make it easier to read. If you're on a phone or a mobile device, this is extremely useful. Citation, if you are in school and you need to cite this paper, this article for an assignment, you can send it to one of the popular citation websites, Noodle Tools, for example, and it'll create your citation. Or if you don't use any of those, you can click the format that your paper is in. I used APA when I was in school. MLA is also pretty popular. So is Chicago. You click one, it gives you a nice citation you can copy and then you can paste in your document. You can email the article. You can send it to someone. You mentioned that it's from you, and then include a little message in the email. And then when you send the email and it shows up in their email inbox, it will be the full text of the article. It won't just be a link to the article. It'll be this full text. So pretty convenient if you wanted to send it to someone outside of Genesee County, someone who doesn't have access to the Access World News database. Printing, pretty self-explanatory. You can also print out the citation at the end. There we go. You can download the article as a PDF, or if you use Google, you can save it to your Google Drive. Quick reminder on PDFs, they're documents, you download them. You can't really edit them, but you can view them, you can read them, and usually you can copy from them to paste in a Word document. You can also just copy a link here, and then you can send that to someone who does have access to get into the database, or save it for yourself for later, and that link will take you straight back to this article. Next, I'm going to mention the Save to My Folder function. Now, this requires that you create an account with Access World News. It's free and free to sign up. You just need an email address, first name, last name, password. And then once you create an account, it'll save it to your saved articles. Now you'll see since I'm signed in now, there is a link that says Kevin's folder up top. I can look at any articles that I've saved. I can do a search and I can save those search results in case I don't have time to go through all the search results. Right now, I can save those search results and come back to them for later. And then my saved alerts. Suppose you do a search result on a developing story and you want to know when more articles are published about that topic. You can set an alert and they will send you an email. Frequency you want, it could be once a day, it could be once a week, and let you know how many new articles are going to come out on that topic. So, all very convenient stuff. So, it's worthwhile to make an account if you're going to do some deep dives into Newsbank, Access World News, looking at various newspapers. And now we're going to hit the Flint Journal collection. You'll see when we click, there are 4 different categories. Flint Journal, 1898 to 2018, in image format. Flint Journal from 1995 to today, in text format. The Flint Journal 2018 to now, also in image format. And then Flint Journal, the web edition articles. Now, there was a time up until recently that the Flint Journal articles between 1995 and 2018 were only available in text. Since then, they have scanned them and added them to this collection. So now you can view any issue of the Flint Journal from 1998 to today in image format. It'll come out just like you'd see a regular newspaper. So let's start with the web edition articles. Now, these are articles printed through the Flint Journal website, mlive.com. And, excuse me, this includes both the free articles and the MLive subscriber only articles. So if I look at yesterday, I can see it's separated by topic, high school sports, life, the Detroit Lions, general news, politics, the Red Wings. And much like with the other local papers we looked at, these are also in text format. Some of them will give you a word count. They'll give you a readability in both the Lexile score and the grade levels that the article was written in. So very convenient, very nice way to catch up with the digital articles. There is a delay between when they get published on the MLive site and when they show up in Access World News. I am not 100% sure how long that is, but usually within 24 hours, they will show up in Access World News. But once again, you won't get any images or charts or any special website website features that would show up on mlive.com. And this archive goes back to 2012, early October. So worth checking out. But we'll head back to the main Flint Journal, collections. Now, these also go up to today. So I could click on October 9th and we can pull up today's paper as we kind of guide you through it. So you can see this is the same paper you would get delivered to your house. It is sorted over here on the right by page numbers. You can kind of preview the pages and then click to jump to that page. Over here you have some controls. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. You can fit the whole page on one screen like this. Right here, you can jump to a certain section, a certain page number if you know what you're looking for. And then you can also jump through pages like this. Takes a second to load each page, but the whole newspaper is up there. I guess one of the cons to the digital edition, if you're like crosswords like I do, you cannot digitally fill it out on the website. It's something you'd have to print and do it on paper. We have a lot of the features that I mentioned with the text-only articles. You can copy a link, you can save it to your folder, you can download just a page, or you could download part of the page. So suppose I wanted the New York Times crossword, I could select just that. And I could download it as a PDF, or I could save that clip to the Google Drive. Same thing with printing. You can print the whole newspaper page, or you can just select a certain article or a certain obituary, certain crossword, and print just that off. When you email, it emails the whole page. And then for source citations, it will cite that page of the newspaper. You can also search within the issue or within that single page. So if I were to search weather, it'll bring up all the times in this newspaper the word weather pops up. There's a nice little preview on the right here. And if you hover over the search result here, a pop-up will come up with a bit more of a wider view. So kind of helps you narrow down what you're looking for. Let's head back to the collection. All right. Another nice thing is you can see there's a create alert option here too. And this will send you an email alert when a new issue is added to the collection. So I could say, hey, I really want to stay on top of the news. Send me up to 4 emails a day. I want to know exactly when this newspaper is being uploaded so I can read it immediately. Or, yeah, just once a week, just remind me, hey, the newspaper archives are there. And I can go back and I can review them at my preference. Next, we will look at the historical archive. And that's going to be this one right here. These are, we have full color scans for the newer issues, but if we go back a ways, they will be black and white scans. And the quality varies depending on the age of the newspaper. Some are easier to read than others. The pictures will all be in grayscale. Um, and you can also search the entire archive. So, for example, if I search for my name and I'm going to do a 1992, let's say 1995. So you'll see there are other people named Kevin Collins that pop up. So I might want to narrow down my search. I'm going to say Ann Bentley, which is where I went to school. And oh, it's not coming up this time. Somewhere in these archives is a Wide Awake Club entry written by me at 6 years old. So let's try this. Best match. Looks like it's not coming up, but that's fine. You can filter it by best match, newest, oldest. If you know your exact year, you can really trim it down. And then another thing I'd want to mention about the classic collection too is they are not always complete. So, for example, if I jump to 1987 and hit July 7th, you'll see when I pull up this newspaper, there are only 2 pages. And this is despite the table of contents down here listing a full paper. So some of the older papers are incomplete. However, here at our headquarters branch of the Genesee District Library, we have a microfiche reader, and we have on microfilm all of the Flint Journal archives in relatively high quality. So if you come across a section that's missing in the Access World News archives, feel free to come in. Let our staff know you're looking for the Flint Journal for this month and certain days, and we can help you get started on the microfiche reader and find those articles or obituaries or anything that you're looking for. Um, and then I will kind of touch base on a few of the other collections. We have the Detroit News collection, which covers the Detroit news in text from 1999 to today and in image from 2018 till today. A couple of the other Michigan news sources: Ann Arbor News, Bay City News, also access to World News. And these all come in quite a few in English, but they're also available in other languages, just in case English isn't your first language or you're looking to read an international paper in its original source, the primary source. That is an option here. Um, do we have any questions about Access World News or the Flint Journal archives or anything to do with this database? Feel free to put them in the chat and I will answer them. Doesn't look like any questions coming through. So I will kind of touch up on some useful search techniques when you're using not only this database, but any database or even some online searches. If you are looking for an exact term, so let's say Keanu Reeves, if you put quotations around both words, it is going to search for the phrase Keanu Reeves. Without the quotations, it'll search for the term Keanu Reeves or just the term Keanu or just the term Reeves. Um, and requires both conditions to be true. So if I do this, this will only bring up articles about Keanu Reeves that were published between 2000 and 2008. You can also use or and type in different date ranges. So this will only bring up articles about Keanu Reeves from between 2000 and 2008, and then between 2012 and 2026. So anything between them won't be searched. Anything outside of them won't be searched. Got a comment asking about Canadian newspapers, and yes, we can take a look and see what is in there. If we go to this map search, like I mentioned earlier, we can limit it to North America, and we can select Canada. And if you're looking for a certain part of Canada, you can see it's broken down by territory. But if we go back, we can hit that 477 sources, and this will bring up all of the Canadian newspaper sources. And the comment mentioned the Windsor Star. So let's see if that one is available. It doesn't look like it, I'm afraid. We do have Windsor This Week, which was published in 2012. Yeah, or we can go back here. And if you know the publication, you can also include that in your search. So you could say source. I want to know what the Detroit News said about the Beecher tornado. And as you can see, because I didn't use the quotations, some articles will just come up with tornado, some with just with Beecher. So we'll do the quotations, and that will limit it down to specifically mentioning the Beecher tornado. Also, kind of a quirk with Newsbank. They'll always sort by newest article first. Oftentimes, you want to switch that just to best match, and that'll help refine your search results. All right. Um, So that is Access World News. I hope this was useful and helped you get started on your research journey. If you ever have any questions, feel free to ask any library staff to stop in any of our branches and ask them for help with Access World News, finding a certain article, finding topics for a paper, or if you'd like to explore our microfiche collection and see full published articles from over 100 years ago, please stop by our headquarters branch. We're extremely happy to help you. Thank you for tuning in and have a nice evening.